now, you said you weren't going to hurt me. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to throw you to the fucking wall. No, what's good, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Answering your questions, as always. It is the end of the month of April. April came and went really fast. It is April 29th, 2005, and I'm here to hang out with you guys for a while. Don't mind me. I have if I start eating on camera, I apologize. I was eating. I still have my burrito, so I ain't even finished eating that yet. How's you doing? How's everybody? Hope everybody's well on their end. And more importantly, I hope everyone is doing okay. What a wild ride. So, yes, guys, if you want to talk about Sinners, I hope you all seen that movie. Malcolm and I saw it a day after it was released. I still have to put my review up. And the reason why I haven't put my we did? It was universally released. Oh, okay. It was we did see the 18th, yeah. I haven't put it up yet because I'm really there was some things that I really wanted to. I've been jotting down and like, okay, I don't just want to talk about the movie in general of okay this and that, but other things like what I liked about it. So yeah, the review will be up definitely this week. We had what else happened? WrestleMania happened. If you guys want to talk about WrestleMania, I'm free. Like I said, I'm here to answer all your geek community questions tonight. But yeah, man, I'm good. I hope you guys are good. Let's do it. Yeah. Let me make sure I got everybody's chat. Let's go live. All right, we good. So only a few people, and so let's wait a little bit and wait till certain people come in. Give it some time. Give it some time. Yeah. Hey Chris. Hey Ted. How you doing? All right. We've got 6 people in the chat right now. All right. All right. We got the God of Comics. We got Cyborg. We got Travis Tiptons, and we got Ted Knight. 87 was good, everyone. So I'll start answering a few of the questions here. And the first question, Jin from Tekken and Zuko from Avatar, what would they think of each other? Well, I mean, I would Jin would definitely be older than Zuko. So I would literally say he maybe can understand a little bit what Zuko goes through. Like the whole concept of Zuko, he was trying to be something that he's not. He was trying to bring honor or be a shining light in his father's eye, but never really for himself. It was more like, okay, I'm doing it for my father. And the one person that actually saw that was, of course, his uncle. With Jin, he's not even trying to be like his father or his grandfather. And now that I have watched the cutscenes of Tekken 8, the last one, yeah, it even goes more into the Devil Gene being, Devil Jin was misunderstood, and I'm like, okay, that was different. But outside of that, yeah, I think Jin could relate to a degree, but also sees a lot of differences as well. And also even tell him like, hey man, like, why are you trying to impress your dad? Like, screw him. If he doesn't respect you, be your own man. You know, I could see Jen saying that. Cyborg, what would Lois Lane and Betty Ross think of each other? Um, I think Lois in general, uh, the thing about Lois is she's brutally honest. Lois got no problem telling like it is, and with Lois, I think more importantly, if Lois was talking to Betty, I think she would respect Betty Ross, for sticking with Bruce, you know, and even I don't know how much she would appreciate you're cool with your dad doing what he did to you, like turning you into well, no, she doesn't turn into a Red Hulk anymore. But when she was the Red She-Hulk, yeah, that's where she would question it. But I guess the whole concept is because the reason why also is that she can relate to Betty because what's Lois? Lois is an army brat too. Betty is an army brat. Her father's in the military, and so is Lois. Lois's father is in the military. General Lane is in. So that's where I can see the a lot of the similarities, and I guess that's why you asked it because they're both fellow military brats. I'm a military brat, so I know that. um, your next question is: if Daredevil and Talia al Ghul were a couple, if Daredevil existed in DC, do you think Al Ghul would approve of it? Um, I don't know if Daredevil would actually get with Talia at all. To be honest, yeah, Matt is a fan of the bad girls. Go look at the line of ladies he has had in his life. He loves bad girls. Um, but I don't think Ray Shagul would approve because Matt is all about the law, and Ray Shagul has broken many laws. Let's just put it like that. If Bruce can't, you think Matt would this? That's the common sense right there. Like, they always try to change Bruce into something that, and Bruce like, man, fuck you. I ain't down with what you trying to do. Rachel Gould wants to commit uh, global genocide at one point. Like, you think Matt would be cool with that too? Come on, Travis. Have you seen the movie Havoc yet? No, I have not. I want to watch it. I have. There's a couple of movies on streaming that I want to watch. I want to watch the Viola Davis movie, G G20. Um, I want to watch that. I still have to finish Daredevil. I didn't watch Daredevil when it. I waited till all the episodes came out. Then I said I was gonna watch it. I said that soon as Daredevil came was announced. I knew they weren't going to put all the episodes up, so I was like, I'm gonna wait. So I stayed away from social media. Anytime I saw something Daredevil related, I was like, nope, I don't want to see that. Uh, but yeah, I definitely still need to watch that. I definitely want to watch G20 with Viola Davis because she does a couple of her own stunts. She does a lot of her own stunts in that. I'm like, go Viola, go. She plays the president, and she's also a military. She was in the military before she became president. So, and she's fighting Homelander in that. The actor who played Homelander, and I believe he gets to use his original accent in that because I believe the actor who plays Homelander is Australian, so it's kind of cool. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, though, guys. Imagine a crossover between Superman and Cashin. Oh, that would be interesting. that means Superman would have to be in a different timeline because in the Kashuran universe, uh, humans are like almost died out. So that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? I'm fine, Caroline. Uh, would Red Sonja fit in Mortal Kombat One? By look, um, in terms of that, look, if Conan could fit, she could fit. Okay, and but you guys know how I feel about the guest stars in Mortal Kombat. Like that's my only problem whenever they do a new Mortal Kombat game. It's never about the game entirely. It's always now about who's the guest stars, who's the guest stars, and that has kind of oversaturated the game. Sometimes for me, it's like they're so people are so invested more into who are the guest stars, and things like that. And that's at a point, it's like, well, if you're gonna do that, if it's a Mortal Kombat character that's not in the game, that should be your first priority. Is put put characters from the Mortal Kombat alumni before you just go, okay, guest stars. I don't mind that they did Conan. I'm a big Conan fan. Don't get me wrong. You know, but again, the only character truly that I would say would clearly work in the Mortal Kombat is Kenshiro. That's the only one I would really like. Oh yeah, let's do it. Like Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. But Conan, it was great to see they used the Arnold look. They didn't go with just they went with the Arnold look for Conan. And I'll even admit the actor who voiced him sounded decent enough as Arnold. I haven't seen the the T-1000 yet, but it was cool to see Robert Patrick come back to voice the character. I'm looking forward to looking at all the interactions. I know my boy, the guy I love, Fire and Ice. He'll put up all the dialogues, which I like. To me, they put Ghostface in there, and I'm like, all right, but then there's a part of me that's like Ghostface in the Mortal Kombat universe. Oh yeah, he'd survive in that. Oh yeah, right. He'd be they yeah. It's like yeah, they would survive. Okay, but I will say what I did like when in the dialogues is whenever he talked, you actually hear the click of the voice. It go click, and then you hear him talk. Um, but when it's like Ghostface fighting like Shao Kahn, I'm like, dude, you'll get your ass killed. I'm just like, come on. It's like you get your ass killed by anyone. It was just funny to watch that. I'm like, I Ghostface, okay, but you know, I just if they do another one, it's just like I, I, part of me wishes they would just focus on the Mortal Kombat characters instead of what license can they get to add a character. It's almost like Mortal Kombat is starting to become like Dead by Daylight in a sense. Like Dead by Daylight, they it's almost like whenever they do something new, it's like, and I applaud them for doing like they really keep that game going. But at the same time, it's like that's the little thing. What some of the fans also do is like, oh, what license can they tap into now to add a killer into it now? But with Mortal Kombat, it's always just who's the guest stars? Who's the guest stars? I don't like that. I really don't like that. That's just personally me. I just don't like that. But I'm not. But yes, Red Sonja would fit. It would just the question would be who would you have voice her? Because personally, I would not want Brigitte Nielsen voicing her. I'm sorry. Like you got to have somebody else voicing her. I'm not even joking about that.
The difference about that is not like the original, the OG. They don't put old new OG people.
Yeah,
Like, dude, the only licensed people are Leatherface, Ghostface,
Michael Myers,
Mike.
Freddie.
But see the difference. But see the difference. On why I wouldn't give so much flack. You know, I'm not saying you are, but get flagged to Jeff Adele because it's a slasher. So you would be thinking, man, how many like monsters or slashers that from history you can get? But Mortal Kombat is like, well, it's a fighting game. They're not getting fighting game characters.
That's what I mean.
Like they're bringing brutal fighting. Like they're working with, you know, Randall Ray. Hey, let's bring the Killer Instinct character. I was like almost like Morgan. Let's bring the Killer Instinct characters in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
so, like we spit that, but that's like okay, that's still within the realm of okay, yeah, it's a horror game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
and so like it feels natural with the more kind of it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Is like when they brought in RoboCop and
yeah, you would have told me. And I think Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah,
RoboCop and Rambo. They brought in Rambo. They brought the T-800. You know, I'm like, okay, but and they do explain that they come from a different world and a different Earth. I get it, but it's like with Mortal Kombat, it's a fighting game, and you want actual fighters in a sense. You know what I mean? Like that's why I say Kenshiro would work because that motherfucker's a fighter. Like he's a fighter.
Look, it could be worse. It could be, you know, Mortal Kombat could be worse. They ain't got nothing on with Tekken with Negan.
When Tekken brought in Negan, I was like, what? Huh? Like, and even they brought in a Final Fantasy character too. I was like,
Negan.
Even
with that back,
Negan is getting killed. Travis Tippin, are you watching My Hero Vigilantes? No, I'm not watching it yet. Yes, it's another side story. Got a comment. Mashiba family or Raishal Ghul family or Howard family from Fatal. I know the Howard family. Don't not that big. Who is the most craziest family? Well, that would go to Mashiba family. Either way, like even the Al Ghul family ain't as crazy as them. Maybe in the animated, but in the animation, the animated version is a little bit more. But the Howard family, look, Terry thought. Yeah, Terry thought he killed Geese Howard. So what did Terry do? He raised his enemy's son, Rock. He didn't have to do that, but he did. And look how Rock turned out. He's a total opposite of his dad. So that's so. And then but the Mashiba family, all of them are just from the bastard kids. Yes, bastards, because Heihachi had a couple of bastards on the side. From no, I'm not saying no. The other one that just recently came out, that girl.
Who's running 8?
Yeah, and then you got look at what Heihachi did to his dad. Buried him underground of their house. Then Heihachi tries to kill his son. His son tries to kill him, and he actually does. Then Kazuya tries to kill his son. The only members of that family that seem to be cool with each other is June. And Lars has no problem with Jin. But yeah, it's the Mishima family. That's why I always say the most dysfunctional.
June is the mom.
Yeah, June is Jin's mom.
Yeah, felt so compelled she had to get a coon.
No. That's Heihachi's wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
So compelled she asked Kuma to take them out.
Yeah, to kill Heihachi.
That's canon, baby.
That's canon. Yeah, basically showcasing the Tekken and Street Fighter world are in the same universe. I don't care what anybody says. Your next question, God of Comics. Fire Lord Ozai or Hihachi, which one is the worst dad in your opinion? Both of them. Both, but both of them ain't no different. D Mike. I seen GJ. It's all right, but I'm not going to spoil it. Nothing. Yeah, please don't spoil anything. Aqualad. Aqualad. Look. Cyborg 008. What? Wait, what? Wait, what? What does that mean? Travis, please write that again. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that was. Where's the next question? This April for me was a little rough, to be honest. It's been stormy and rainy, on and off and on. Caroline, where are you at again? So yeah. Uh, the God of the comic. I see a Spawn fan film. I like from a fan film. This looks great. Wait, what? Wait, what? I see a. You mean did you seen a Spawn fan film? uh,
Speaking of fan fellow, I was thinking about Wilson Fisk.
yeah. Oh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. If watch a there's a Punisher fan film, guys, that I do recommend. It's called um what is it called? I'm trying to remember. Uh, it's called it's called Punisher, the Punisher Nightmare. It's called The Punisher Nightmare. It's a fan film. It's a pretty long fan. It's like an hour long. And it's like a re-imaging of Frank. Um, but it was really good. I actually reacted to it. If you follow me on, you can only find it on my Patreon. So if you like to go check it out, you can. It's for every member. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was different. But there's a part where you get to see Wilson Fisk and Malcolm saw that. uh, Caroline, you said I've been rewatching a lot of Phineas and Ferb. I love Phineas and Ferb. Lately with the show, coming back in June, are you excited? Um, I don't mind that. Phineas and Ferb is coming back. It was a very lucrative and successful show for Disney. I mean, I will always stand by the fact that I don't get Candace at all. Here are her well they're well no Ferb is her half brother, like her step brother, but Phineas is her blood brother. Um, but I always find it funny. It's like these two kids have like can do and has like engine can make basically anything. Just like, oh, I know what we're gonna do today. And the first thing you do is you want to tell your mom, like, I'm telling, like, like, and it's just like it's the funny. Instead, you should be like celebrating. Look how great my brothers are. Like, and that's why I like the episode where they went in the future and we saw, that she kind of mellowed out a little bit, but she's she was telling, like, you just keep doing what you're doing, or and then her daughter was like, that boy looks like Uncle Phineas, and that girl looks like Aunt Isabella, and Isabella said, you hear that, Aunt Isabella, that means I'm gonna marry Phineas. And then and Candace said, or Ferb, and then he turned around. That was the funniest thing to me. And then her look on her face, like, wait, yeah, you don't know who you. And I love the fact that Ferb doesn't talk very much. Like he'll say, like, right foot, well, and then he shuts up, and then, or at the end he'll say something. He's not even like the stereotypical British boy. He just doesn't talk very much. Everything is like, okay, Ferb, how we doing? He does like he's more like Snake Eyes. Don't talk very much. He just funniest thing. I have my favorite episodes of Phineas and Ferb, like the what's that squirrels in my pants. You remember that episode with it? That's just hilarious to me. I wonder if all the actors are coming back for the voicing. Galactus. Ever seen the animated Conan? I have, yes. I was not very good. I did not really care for the Conan the Adventurer cartoon. They went too weird with that in terms of Conan's sword was special. It came from the star. It was called Star Metal. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, yeah, you. It's like no,
It's like they're doing too much.
doing too much. Anthony Starr from New Zealand. Yes. Oh, he's from New Zealand. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Besides Wolverine, what Marvel characters do you see Vandal Savage clashing with? I really don't see him clashing with Wolverine in general. I really don't. Um, I guess you could say the Avengers in a general sense. Uh, Iron Fist for sure. I know he would try to want to get the power of Kunlun and stuff like that. And again, with Wolverine and Gandalf, that ain't gonna last long. If Wolverine said, "Oh, you're immortal," okay, let's put that to the test. Let's put that to the. How about I cut your goddamn head off? Let's see how immortal you are from that. That's right there. We'll cut the immortal. Like I'm gonna cut your damn head off. Let's see that. Let's see that grow back. It won't. See, Vandal Savage has immortality, but that does not include regenerative powers and all that other stuff. He can heal, but not like you don't. He can't regrow his head. That's the whole point. Like being immortal does not mean you can't do damage to them. They can get hurt.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's like
Immortality does not necessitate invulnerability
yes,
and regenerative power.
right. That's why. And look at Highlander. When Duncan gets stabbed or shot, he still feels it. He's like, oh, he felt that, like, but he won't die from it, you know. But and that's why. Well, what's the whole point of Highlander? Once they get their head cut off, that's it. That's the same thing. Like, they're not lizards or something like that. That's why I love Vandal Savage, but I think people hype him up a little too much. Like, oh, he's immortal. Yeah, so so what's that mean?
There's characters in the comic that are immortal and they're not fighters.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, so yes. The interesting thing about Vandal Savage, yes, he's a legit caveman. That's that he no he was he was a, he was a he's a legit caveman that no I'm not saying that he was a legit caveman that he touched a meteor and that it gave him intelligence and yeah and immortality and stuff and over so he lived throughout the centuries. That's
he really saw the dawn of man.
yeah, he really saw all the dawn of technology and everything like that. But at the end of the day, yes, him taking on Wolverine, he get his ass whooped. Like he'd be dead. Just because he's yeah. He would not stand a chance against Wolverine. It's not even a close fight. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it'd be. You think Vandal Savage, imagine Vandal Savage ticking off Logan so much, he goes in that berserk rage. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Like it's over. He'll put him in a he'll cut him up into pieces and like spread him out all over the world. Or put his head in a and just keep it there. Something like Futurama. Uh let's see. Okay, we got Caroline and Eliza talking. Travis, still like Best of the Best movies? I do love best of the best movies. I still I've seen them all. I've only seen the fourth one once, and it's been so long I can't even remember it. But the other three I have watched a lot. I love the first one. I still love that first one. Um, I love the second one as well. Um, that's when Tommy, well, not Tommy, yeah, Tommy, they Travis, one of their old teammates, he died. And then the third one is where pretty much you got Tommy fighting a bunch of racists, and and it was good to. Yep, they were Klansmen, and it was great, and it was great to see him kick the Klansmen's ass. So yeah, they were laughing at him. They're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Lee." And he said, "Oh, just like General Lee." I'm like, "The fuck, oh, shit, dumbasses." So yeah. Um, if Yujiro Hanma was a Marvel villain, would you who would he face? Anybody he wants. There you go. Uh,
How was that?
um,
Zero's a badass, bro.
God of comments. Why do you think Kenshiro is perfect for M? Have you ever seen Fist of the North Star? Go look him up. Go look. Go.
You know why, bro? Because all of his enemies are already dead. That's it.
Yeah. And do you think? Why do you think would be? And do you think he would he have for his fatalities? And who would voice him? I don't really care about the voice. Again,
The fatality is what his fatality is. Then
again, again,
has a fatality.
again. I ask you, Travis, to go look up video right now of Kenshiro and tell me why he wouldn't be perfect, and then come back. Go look him up right now. I'm not even joking. Go look him up. Go look up his fighting style. Look up his scenes. Look up what this man could do. When this man comes at you and says you're already dead. That's it. That's it. He can hit you so fast your body don't even react until it starts bubbling and blows up. Your head blows or so wherever he wants to hit you. Go look it up. I'm not even joking. Um, you got any summer plans, Chris? Not really. Travis Knight, Sinners was great. Favorite scene. I don't know. I should talk about that right now, Travis. I don't think everybody's seen Sinners, but Sinners was great. I said Travis. Ted. Sinners was great. It was a great movie. I love the fact that it was a period piece. You guys know how I love period piece horror. This movie took place in 1932 Mississippi, so we're still in Jim Crow era. And if you don't know what the Jim Crow era, I'm sorry for you. But it was a great movie. Michael B. Jordan was great. He plays dual roles in this. He plays twin brothers, Stacks and Smokes. Smoke. I I smoke and stack and smoke. Oh. I keep adding an S. Yeah. They are World War I vets, and in that they also basically even says that they work for Al Capone when they went to Chicago. But they come back home and they try to build a juke joint, and all hell breaks loose after that. Like I said, Ted, favorite scene. I don't know if I can repeat that here because I'm not sure everybody's seen Sinners. Um, all I will say, one of my favorite scenes. Um, okay, one of my favorites. I think people have already seen it. They should have seen it because they aired it already. It's when Omar Miller's character Cornbread, he is trying to get his money. At this point in time, the character has been changed, if you know what I mean, and he wants his money, and the people in the juke joint are like, you know, they already suspicious of him because he's like, you're gonna let me in, and we already, if you saw it, you know, like he was already in this juke joint all day.
Was the bouncer.
He was the bouncer. He was like the bouncer, and unfortunately, they're all like, you know, once you admit it that you dead, like, you know, you've been in here all day, you can't roll your big ass up in here now, like, and he's just like, and you could just see he's trying to come up with any excuse. Now we out here telling ghost stories and doing what we supposed to do. And what we supposed to do? Being kind to one. And it's just like, it's the funniest thing. He's like, well, can I get my money? And uh, they about to give him his money, and that's when he bitterly tries to attack, bite one of the characters, and it's just the funniest thing. He gets shot in the face. That was one of my favorite scenes. But yeah, the movie was great. The music, I can't say nothing better with the music. Like the composer of this film, he has composed a lot of great films.
Yeah, I say his name. Yeah, so Ludwig.
Ludwig. I would literally say this guy is on that same cusp as someone like Hans Zimmer. That's how good he was in this. Um, it the movie showed a lot of good representation and a lot of things that maybe a lot of people don't know about during that time in the South, because it's this kind of stuff that's not even documented in textbooks. You can't read about in history books in school. So it's always good to remember, like, educate yourself outside of the school books. Like, there were a couple of people that couldn't believe, like, there were Chinese in the South during that time. Yes, there was.
I mean, well, you looked it up.
I too. And I had to make sure. I was like, wait, really? And then I looked it up, and I was like,
You just like, wait,
whoa,
wait, what?
whoa. I was like, whoa, and you know, again, you learn something new every day, right?
Nothing wrong with a movie being a history.
Yeah, learning something new every day. You know, Ryan did his homework. Now, in terms of the indigenous representation, I knew that real quick. I was like, yeah, because I've studied tried to study as much uh, what tribe was in what certain area, and I know in Mississippi, Louisiana era, that's mostly Choctaw Nation. So I know that real quick. I was like, yeah, that's. So when I saw them, I was like, that's Choctaw. I was like, I knew who that was. But it was such a good movie. It's not your typical vampire movie. It's not. It's completely. It goes from zero to. It goes from point A to point B. It starts out just looking like it's just a period piece drama, and then it goes to the horror aspect of it. You know, it touched on a lot of things, and it was really good, and I loved it. It was really good. It was one of the movies of 2025 that I was like, I gotta see this movie, because I've been following this movie ever since they announced that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are working together again. They have worked together on 5 movies now. They've worked together. They're like, a lot of people are comparing them to uh, Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro, Johnny Depp and Tim Burton, Anton Fuqua and Denzel Washington. Look at all the movies they've done together, and now them, and that's a good. And Michael B. Jordan even said he's like, somebody asked him, when Ryan Coogler sends you a script, is it just like an instant yes? And he's like, most of the time, yeah. He's like, I got to read it first, but he says he's going to do it, so it's kind of interesting.
Also, it's good that this was the first one that they did that was an original
Yeah,
IP.
and yeah, that's the other thing. It is an original IP, so yeah, it's really cool. Uh, Warhawk Rambo, thoughts on the backstage drama in WWE? Like with what? Warhawk. What recent backstage drama? Uh, inform me on that one. Uh, Caroline, I live in Oklahoma. Oh boy. Okay, okay. Uh, D Mike, D Mike. Chris, did you see the new movie Werewolves? No, I didn't. I still need to see that. I know. Um, Werewolves. It was with Frank Grillo and that. It was like they really used a lot of practical effects for the wolves, and you guys know what I like about practical. Yeah, I guess it's like Dog Soldiers, but I haven't watched it yet.
Not seen Dog Soldiers.
I think if y'all haven't seen Dog Soldiers, dog, I said Cyborg 008 and Aqualad look similar. Oh, okay. Yeah, they kind of do. Yeah, I mean, but at the time, I mean, they, yeah, Young Justice version. You could definitely see it. I don't know why they made 008. He is from Africa, but he's got blonde hair. I was like, why he's got? I'm like, what the hell is he got blonde hair for? But I love Cyborg 009. I love those. I love them. If Kazuya demons demons they teamed up, who would win? Who would be the Demona? Kazuya, who would Demona's gonna backstab Kazuya real quick. She hates, it's gonna be Demona. She hates humans. Come on. Candace just being overprotective. Candace is just being an overprotective sister. No, she's not. That's that's not overprotective. That is not overprotective. That's just she's telling on her, and okay, you want to see, let me yeah, if you're going with it, let me tell you how overprotective she is. So there was an episode. Okay, let me
For me, it was the first ever episode I really sat down and watched.
Yeah, there's an episode of Phineas and Ferb, and Candace she's like, I got to get some evidence, and maybe to prove to mom that they're doing this. Then she realizes that there's a camera outside on the lamppost, and they. So what does she do? She goes up there, steals the video recordings, and then there's a point where Phineas, there's a gate that's a bridge that's opening up. It opens up and it closes, and Phineas has oil all over him, and he's slipping, and he's like, Candace, help, the oil, I'm slipping. He basically probably was gonna die or drown, and this overprotective, yeah, this overprotective sister, what you just said, Travis, is literally contemplating: do I save my brother or save the tape? You can see her going. You can just see his fingers, and you see her contemplate: do I save my brother or get the evidence to prove I'm right? That's overprotective sister. That's delusional. I know you ain't thinking about that. Save your brother. You worrying about a damn tape. It's like that right there cleared it for me. I'm like, something wrong with that girl. That ain't overprotective. She crazy. Your brother is gonna slip and fall off a bridge, and and probably drown or worse. And you worried about a damn tape that got evidence of them building stuff so you can show your mother. That's overprotective. Get out of here. Come on now.
That's like saying that Juggo's an overprotective cousin.
Yeah.
She was just teaching Tommy.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I'll slap somebody in the face for saying that. Oh, Angelica. Angelica was just an overprotective cousin. No, she wasn't. She was that boy's first bully. That girl would do everything harmful to them babies.
Don't forget, someone the scary thing, she chased Tommy and Chucky around with a freaking wrench.
Yeah. She would always try to want to break up Tommy and Chucky's friendship. Oh, look at his belly button. He's an alien. It sticks out, and then trying to stick him with stuff. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? That's why I like when they went to their family reunion and and they were like, hey, and I'm rude. You want to mess with my cousins? Oh, I'm your cousin too. Oh yeah, bet you I can want to wrestle. I bet you I can make you squeal like a piggy. And like she was torturous to her own people, her own family. Like,
Yeah, and that's why her name is ironic.
yeah, Angelica. Like, come on. Uh, so she ain't overprotective at all. Travis, get out of here. Why do you think Harley Quinn is not the daughter of? Is wait what? Wait, why do you think Harley Quinn is not the daughter of Lobo? Daughter crush. Wait, what? Why would that? First, what? Explain that to me. You guys are. I'm gonna start being a grammar hound again, yo. Y'all, please read what y'all write down because that made no sense. I don't get what you were trying to write. Um, Galactus. Have you heard about the Fantastic Four will be crossing over with the Gargoyles? Yes, I do. I just recorded my thoughts on it. It should be going up soon. Yes, I'm looking forward to that crossover. A Marvel crossover with Dynamite is going to be great. The first family meeting Goliath and his clan. They the clan is going to get a tour of the Baxter Building. That's cool. I like that. Uh, I keep hearing about this live action Gargoyles. I don't believe it until I hear it from a real reliable source. Uh, Caroline, what I have a lot of favorite episodes. What are some of your other favorite episodes of Phineas and Ferb? Um, well, it's I don't know them by name, like by the title, but a lot of there's another one of my favorite episodes is when they they meet this Loch Ness monster like character called Nosy. I like that one. I like there's an episode where uh Phineas becomes a superhero called the Beak. The Beak. That's this real song they had there. I love the episode where Phineas and Ferb's dad is trying to set up that Phineas and Ferb try to get this rock band back together that their parents like when they were kids. Uh, I did the time travel episode. That was fun. Um, yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch. Uh, yeah, there's a bunch. Let's see what we got next. Um, okay. Crush. I know who Crush is, but you didn't Crush. Daughter of Lobo versus Mark Grayson. Who would win? And who do you think Crush is banned? And do you think Crush is she banned from the afterlife like her dad? I don't know too much about Crush because I haven't read that much stuff her, and I know who she is, but I haven't read. I don't know how strong she is. I don't know, so I can't really claim on that. Have you been have you been enjoying Creature Commandos? Yes, I have been enjoying Creature Commandos. I am down to the last four episodes. I reacted to a couple of them, and they're fun. They're fun. Uh, I still don't trust the princess. I don't know why. I just don't trust her. Princess is thirsty as fuck. What is the life? What is the life equation from DC, and is it different from the anti-life equation? I don't know. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, I would love to know what it is. Carol, also, I just finished reading and collecting Tom Taylor's run. Such a yes, Tom Taylor did a great job on with Nightwing, and that Tom Taylor's Nightwing run is a kind of a love letter and a makeup. As it's kind of a makeup for his what he's done with Nightwing in the past. If you look at a lot of Tom Taylor's work with Nightwing, he either kills him off or something like that. So that was like a love letter to his run is like a love letter and a apology to fans like me who loves Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is my favorite Bat family member even before Batman. I like Dick Grayson more than I like Batman. Yeah, go look at that. So yeah, so that's kind of like it's like a sorry letter. Take care. Bye. Do it. Do you want a cocaine bear too? Uh, I don't know because the bear basically she died if I remember correctly. I can't remember. I haven't seen cocaine bear in a while. Um, Iliad from Creature, but if she meets Dante from Devil May Cry, do you think Dante would like her? Dante, he's kind of cool with everybody, but he would definitely see right through a lot of her, especially her horniness. Like she's just horny. It's like stop touching him. Like stop touch. Like if you watch my reaction, that's what I'm saying. Every time she touches Rick, I'm like, stop touching him. Stop touching him. Like she's just like, oh, I don't want boys. I like it's like, good God. And Rick gave into. I'm like, you dummy. Like the claims that the claims of Rock and Triple H clashing backstage. Uh, look, Rock. I love the Rock, but there are times like he if he is he's at fault. He's at fault here. Like a lot of this shit that's going on. You look at the whole concept. You talk about he's trying to save face. He's trying to play. He's trying to play like, well, they didn't need me. Yes, we did need you for the whole build with Cena and stuff. Like you were supposed to be there. Like that didn't make any sense. You're just trying to save face. It doesn't matter. And if it is true that he's trying to get Hunter out of position, that's really petty. That's stupid. It's really petty. And I don't like that at all. Like it doesn't make sense. You were supposed to be there. Like it was stupid to just have that Travis Scott. Like first of all, the match was dumb. The match was boring. The match was stupid. It made no sense. It took away from what we saw when he first turned. When he basically went like this and Cena what did to Cody Rhodes. It's stupid. It's just downright stupid. uh I thought Where was good. Please watch it on the big screen. Well, I'm not gonna watch it on the big screen. And whenever it comes out, I'll watch it. I don't even think it's out in screen anymore. So uh, I'm trying to say, why do you think that Harley Quinn is not the mother of? I don't know what. Like, why would I don't know because Harley ain't. Why would Harley and Lobo hook up? Just think of that for a second. They ain't never crossed paths. That's just stupid. And we all know Harley and Ivy are like this. So why? Yeah, Candace can be pretty unbearable. Not gonna lie. Yeah, she ain't unbearable. She can be a lot of things. It's more than that. Although I would not compare Candace to Angela. Nobody's comparing them, but at the end of the day, she Candace does some weird stuff that instead of encouraging her brothers to and giving her brothers praise, and she wants to just get them in trouble. It's like, what's wrong with you? Angelica, on the other hand, she's always, always trying to get them in trouble. Oh, she's a bully. She's a huge bully. Um, oh, excuse me. Let's see what we got. Back in 2020, I was homophobe. Whoa, but I changed every day. I wake up thinking about the old me every day. I was like, I'm glad I'm not that guy anymore. That's good. People can change. Uh, Ted says, "Were you a fan of Kick Batowski?" I loved Kick Batowski. I go on Disney Plus all the time just to rewatch it. I love Kick Batowski. That was such a fun show. The urban daredevil. He was the way he was shaped was so fun. His body was shaped so funny, but I loved Kick Podolsky and his boy Gunther. Gunther. Uh, I loved Kick Podolsky. That was a fun show. His brother Brad was his bully, and then he had a little sister Brianna, and she was like the typical little sister who likes everything sparkly, but she had a mean streak too. It's like, get out of my room. I'm like, oh Jesus! Like, one of my favorite episodes is where Kick, his dad, his dad is like, well, you're gonna learn how to play the piano, and he has to stay in there and learn how to play the piano. While every time he looks outside, people are doing this and doing that, having fun, and there's even an ice cream truck that goes by, and um he's like he just has to watch, and then he takes the piano outside, and he does learn how to play it, but it has to be more like his adrenaline has to be kicking in, like because he's like when he was doing a stunt, and then he starts playing it really good. And then the other episode is where he had a tricycle called the Trike X5, and it was his first stunt trike, and Brianna, his little sister, took it from him, took it, and he's like, Trike X5, where is it? And he's like, while you were telling that story, some girl in pink took it. And he's like, Brianna. So he and she puts all these sparklies on it, and uses it for like a pageant. And it was a funny episode. I love that. It was the funniest thing also, like there was this I guess it's supposed to be a rip off of the energy drink Monster or so, because it's called cheetah juice or something, and then you drink it, you just flip out like a cheetah. It's the funniest thing. Yeah, Kick Patowski is fun. It didn't last long. I think it only lasts 2 seasons. I was a little messed up about that. It was a fun show, Ted. I love that show. Kick Patowski was fun. It was fun. That was one of those original Disney shows that I really liked, and I wish it lasted longer. I love Gunther. He was so funny. Muscle Man and Buford, uh, Buford and Harold from Hey Arnold. What would they think of each other? Uh, Muscle Man would probably think Buford is Buford, and who? Harold. Uh, think Harold fat, or he said, "Hey, that guy looks like a monkey," or something like that. Like Harold did look like a monkey, though, at times. Like, you know, why does one of your teeth sticks out? you know, hey, my teeth do not stick out. Something like that. The funniest thing. Uh, yeah, uh, yeah, that would be funny. Uh, the god of the comic. The reason why I name my cat Salma, Salem, because, well, he has black hair. So you have a cat. You have a black cat. You have a black cat. I thought it came from, just you were like you liked um Sabrina. So cat's name is Salem and that. Do you think G1 robots has do you think GI robot has to kill his friends? Uh well, GI is dead now. From what the last episode I watched, he got destroyed. But the last thing that what happened to him, he basically took out a bunch of. He's all about killing Nazis, and he took out a group of white supremacists. And I was like, once I saw when they rebuilt and I was like, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna go in. And I saw what I saw. I'm like, yeah, they're dead. I was like, yep, they're dead. As soon as he saw, and that's why he ended. I like that they explained, okay, why is this robot in this jail, and then we get to see what happened to him. But because of the fact that he always, are these guys Nazis and things like it's. But I like GI. He was like I don't give two shits about Nazis. Like good Nazis to me, like fuck them, So uh, not saying that people can't change, but when you think like them, I don't care. When nice character get mad, yeah, get mad, yeah, very nice. Caroline, I think my favorite side character in Infinity War is Candace's friend Stacy. She's a voice of, yeah, Kelly. I know who voiced that. You don't think I know who Kelly Who is? Please, I recognize Kelly Who voice anywhere. And she is Kelly Who. I still have a crush on Kelly Who. She's getting older. She's aging like fine wine, and but I've known Kelly Who long time, and you know, she, she is the voice of reason most of the time. There are times like she even tells Candace, like, your brothers are cool. Like, why don't you like? It's the funniest sometimes. Yeah, it's just weird sometimes. And I believe is it? Yes, Isabella. I think Isabella is her sister. I believe. Correct. Yeah, I think. Uh, uh, God of the comic says, Guy? Do you think Guy Gardner and Muscle Man will be good friends or not good friends? Not good friends. They're both assholes. Um, Ted Knight, 87. Are you going to see the Thunderbolts despite the Sentry? Yes, I am going to go watch the Thunderbolts despite the Sentry being in it because I fucking hate that character. uh, I am going to go see it, but it ain't going to be for the Sentry. And maybe, just maybe, the Thunderbolts can do for the Sentry what the MCU did for me with uh um 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 uh why am I forgetting her name? Why am I forgetting her name? Um why am I forgetting her goddamn name? Maria Hill. There we go. Maria Hill. I love Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill. She was great, and I liked her as Maria Hill. She wasn't a bitch like she is in the comics. Maria Hill in the comic, I can't stand that character. There are points I'm like, kill her off, kill the bitch off. Like, I'm sorry, no offense, but I'm like, kill her off. She's got a bad attitude. She got an inferiority complex. She thinks she's right all the time. She's not. Kill her off. Like, get rid of her. Like, I don't like but her but her her MCU counterpart is great. That's why I didn't like the fact that she was killed off. D asks, I was in the store yesterday and I looked over and this guy had a tattoo and it said, "I hate showers." Then stay away from him. If you hate showers, something wrong with you. You don't like to wash. You don't like to wash yourself. Let me ask you something. Okay, matter of fact, let me ask y'all. Y'all want to know from y'all. When you guys take showers, do you use a washcloth or do you just use your soap? There you go. Oh, we got one answer. Ted Knight said washcloth. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. Thank you. I get tired of hearing some of these silly Caucasian people saying they don't wash with washcloth. That's disgusting. I'm like, you out of your mind? What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with you? You love the Flash, but who's your favorite, Barry Allen or Wally? I grew up with Barry before Wally. When I was growing up, Wally was still Kid Flash. So yeah, it's Barry first. Wally comes next. I got no hate for Wally, but Barry is, damn it, Barry is my Flash. Uh, what weapons do you want the monkey? What weapons do you want the Monkey King? What weapons would you want? The Monkey King staff, Thor's hammer from Marvel, Mjolnir, or the White Lantern ring? All of them. JP, Dante or Keaton? Dante from what? And Keaton from who? Uh, this would be fun if Maria Hill tried to get Dante from Devil May Cry and Spawn to join her. Yeah, that ain't happening. Yeah, Maria Amanda Waller could try all she wants, but she is not getting Al at all to join the Suicide Squad. She'd be dead. I mean Kratos, Dante or Kratos. Dante all the way. I will choose Dante over Kratos any day, and I don't care which Kratos you're talking about, younger Kratos or older Kratos. Dante all day. Ginger Ginger is Stacy. Yeah, there you go. No, 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 okay. Uh, what kind of burrito are you eating? Uh, honey chicken with white rice, corn salsa, lettuce, and cheese. There you go. Honey, yeah. Uh, I hate I hate fight. In your opinion, wait, no. What differentiates a complete idiot from a regular idiot? In your opinion, ones that just don't want to try to understand and make sense about a lot of things. There you go. They just come off the gift with just idiotic ideas. It's just that don't work for me. Travis, I hate fighting Ellen from Street Fighter 3. Why? She's cool. Can't wait to play with her again in Street Fighter 6. She's coming back. I think Atrocitus is the only good DC villain for old man Kratos. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think is wait? What do you think? What DC villains will be good for? There's a lot of DC villains that would be a real good match. Dark Side, pretty a lot of the new gods. Trigon, come on, there's Atrocitus, not so much. He ain't the only one. There's a bunch. Eclipso, there's so many. I use soap. Yeah, yeah, but do you use a washcloth? That's what I'm asking. Do you when you use the soap, do you lather that soap on the washcloth and then lather your body? You just use soap and that's it. I'm just saying. Mostly unfair fight boss. Really? Never look at it like that. Most unfair boss fight. Uh, to me, it's got to be Gil. I hate Gil. Like Gil is so cheap. Favorite Wonder Woman writer? Just wondering. Um, uh, the George Perez run I loved. Gail did a good. Gail Simone did a very good job. Kelly right now is doing an excellent job on Absolute Wonder Woman. Tom King, I'm loving Tom King's run as well. So yeah, there's a few. Oh, Greg Rucka. Greg Rucka's another one. I loved his run. I loved Greg Rucka's Wonder Woman run. Great run. Right on a stick. If you get the references, cool. um, what does the worst Spider-Man fan film? What was the worst Spider-Man film you ever seen, in your opinion? The worst Spider-Man fan film I've seen. Most of the Spider-Man fan films I've seen were pretty good, despite them not being able to really web sling. Outside of that, they were pretty good. I've never seen one I didn't like. That I've seen that I didn't like. Favorite uh favorite Invincible character. I've always been a fan of Mark. I mean, like I said, you know, like, I know everybody jumped on the bandwagon of Invincible, but I was rocking with Invincible when it was just comics, and all I was like, man, this is a brutal comic. And when they got an, I always said like they could never do a live action, and I'm not saying they can't, but animation works better for it. Battle Beast is another one I like. I do like him. I wonder if they're going to really get to the part where he fights. No, I don't want to spoil it for y'all. So, Wally is my favorite Flash. I grew up with him in the TV. Yeah. Mostly people are going to choose Wally because they grew up with him probably with the show, not really reading the character, and that's fine, you know. But with me, like I was a Flash fan from day one, and Flash has always been one of my favorite DC heroes of all time. So, and I like speedsters in general. Like I'm a big fan of speedsters. I always feel like speedsters are a niche and a need to be, especially when you build a team. I always want a speedster on a team, and I just like him better. And I don't hate Quicksilver, but there are times Pietro gets on my nerves. At times, you know, you talk about overprotective sibling. He's kind of that way, even though he knows his sister's more powerful than him, and she can protect herself. And even when it's just how it is. Chris, have have you ever reacted to Mortal Kombat animality fatalities? I've seen all the animality fatalities. I'm not a big fan of animalities. I never have been. When they first introduced them in Mortal Kombat 3, I didn't care for them too much. I was like, why are they turning into animals now? So when they brought them back, I was just like, just, I didn't care about it. I really don't. It's cool, but the creativity is there, but I don't really care for it because I'm like, you know, that's okay. Uh, do you think Amanda Waller could have mutants in the task force S if it existed in in Marvel. Um, maybe I could see her probably having like Typhoid Mary there because Typhoid Mary is a mutant. She's not a, yes, people. Typhoid Mary, the same character that's written Daredevil. She's a mutant. The one with the different personalities. Yeah. Um, I think I like character. She does. She just kicked my ass. Oh, Ellen kicked your butt. Okay. For me, the worst Spider-Man film is Spider-Man Lewis. I never seen that one, so I'll take your word for it. Was Spider-Man? You mean Spider-Man Lois? Really, Lotus? You mean Lotus or Lou? I've seen a little bit of Lotus, and I didn't think it was that bad. If that's the one that I'm hearing, I only saw a little bit, and from what I saw, I was like, well, they put a lot of effort into it, but I can't really say I watched all of it. But I've heard people say that it was bad. Um, if Nero I know who Nero is. uh, was in DC, what team would he join? Justice League Dark or Titans? None of them. He could be a solo act. He don't need to join anybody. What if Charles Xavier looked into Homer's head? Oh boy. Um, he probably wouldn't find much in there. Or probably just see Homer just going, ow, 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 donuts, ow, ow, ow. Yeah. Um, Travis, I always get get the same thing from Chinese restaurant: chicken wings and pork fry, chicken wings and pork fried rice with vegetables and no vegetables in the rice. Come back to me with that, Travis. Uh, Hi there, Chris. How's it going? I'm good, Andre. How are you? Is Kyle Rayner and Wally West good friends? Yes, they're pretty good friends. Uh, I don't get the hate for Tom King. Well, Tom King sometimes his writing is Tom King. He writes because for people who don't know, Tom King was a CIA operative. He was a CIA. He worked for the CIA, so he kind of writes in a style that's very crime driven. And I think for some characters, people just don't see that working for it. But for the most part, he's great. Travis, not everybody's going to like a writer's work. Yeah, that is true. Not everybody's going to like him. But some of them just like to hate to hate. Like, for example, my issue with I like Brian Michael Bendis, but there are some issues I have with him. Like, he tries to take on too much and he oversaturates himself, and you can see it costs him in his writing. Um, Bendis's DC run was not that good. Look at Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb, his Marvel stuff sucks because it makes no damn sense with a lot of stuff. But his DC work, he works better with DC. So stick to DC. Um, I work in restaurant. Customers can be annoying. Yeah, I know that feeling. Do you see Black Lightning and his daughters joining the X-Men if they existed in the Marvel universe? Metahumans are just mutants in general, pretty much. The meta gene, the X gene, most likely, yeah, they wanted to. Uh, I might have buffalo drumsticks later this week, like with buffalo sauce. It's funny. I've never been a big fan of buffalo wing, buffalo sauce. If I do have like, if I go to like B Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings, I never order like the buffalo sauce. I order honey barbecue or something else or something like that, uh, or honey mango jalapeno or something like that. Yeah, I do like my spice moderate, mind you, but I don't go cuckoo like some people. Like uh, I don't go cuckoo. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yes, Ted. Yeah, ghost peppers. I no, I think I had I think I had ghost pepper jerky, or was it Carolina Reaper, and it was good, but I was like no way, you know, like I got an uncle that loves the spice, but I'm a moderate spice guy. I don't go cuckoo with it. Like when I mean cuckoo, meaning it's so hot that it'll make your nose bleed. Fuck that. Okay, fuck that. Like, no, I'm not eating something that hot. And the other thing is, I don't mind stuff being hot, but it's got to have some flavor to it. If it's just hot to be, ooh, it's spicy, get out of here. um, my friend uh, Aaron, she loves Tim because he's smart. He's part of the, and she's a lesbian. I'm cool with that. Well, uh, Tim is bisexual. Um, he's bisexual. Uh, that's fine. Do I hate the fact that they just they put that out there with no real build? Yeah, I do hate that. I will always. I don't hate gay characters. I actually love gay characters, but I hate making a character gay for the sake of it, when there was no build to these characters even being in the closet, especially if they're men. That's why I feel the same way I feel the way about Iceman. I'm like, when was there ever a point in this guy's character's 60 plus history that he had any tendency of being homosexual? But now, because it made no sense, and even when Bendis did that, when he wrote that, this was at a point when Bendis wrote that the younger X-Men, the original five, had came to the future, and older Bobby was, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, younger Gene says to Bobby, "But Bobby, you're gay." So why didn't older Bobby know that he was gay? Made no sense. When the characters like North Star, Batwoman, um, uh, Apollo, and Midnighter, openly gay. They've been gay since the day they debuted. Those are the characters I like. I love Tim. He's my favorite Robin. But with Tim, Iceman, and a few others, it's like, wait, when did this happen? And why them? You see where I'm coming at with it? I'm not hating on it, but it's just, where did that come from? Why them? Why all of a sudden now you saying that, they're he's gay or they're gay? It just doesn't make sense to me. That comes out of nowhere. You just, to me, when you do stuff like that, it's just for shock value. I don't like that. But you got characters like I said, what I just say, North Star. Hell, uh, Mystique is gay. She's always been gay. You know, um, uh, what did I just say? Midnighter and Apollo, um, uh, Amara, Thunder. Black Lightning's daughter. She's always been gay. Her and Grace Cho. They, but when you just throw it out there like what they did with Iceman, I don't like that. Batwoman's always been gay. I'm fine with that. But if you're just doing it for shock value, I'm not with that. Like, imagine. Okay, I'll give you another example. Imagine all of a sudden Marvel came out, came out, came out of the woodworks and said, "This guy is gay." After 60 plus years, Peter Parker is gay. How would you feel? Yeah, I want to know. People would probably be throwing a fit. Like, wait, when did that happen? And you could say, and yeah, you could say people was like, well, he's been closeted about it, and that you could, but you have to go really deep into explaining that. You see what I mean? That's where you're drawing the line at with that. But there's a lot of gay characters I love. And I still love Tim and I still love Iceman to this day. That's never going to change. That's the whole point. It's never going to change. But I know people that don't fuck with those characters no more because of what their publication did with them. I had a coworker that he don't like Iceman no more. He's like, I don't like that character more. I'm like, why? And he's like, they turned him gay. I was like, but he's still the same Iceman. Ain't nothing changed about him. The only change is like, yeah, he 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 likes the strudel now instead of the pie. That's all. Is he still the he's still the funny character? Yeah. He's still fun? Yeah. He's still Bobby. Love Bobby. Ain't nothing changing about that. You know? Tim's, is he still he's still one of the smartest Robins? Hell yeah. Nothing's changed. Let's see. Uh I'm doing good. I might get a librarian job soon. Hey, shouts out to librarians out there. Librarians. That's cool. You're gonna be telling people, shh, be quiet. Don't be making all that noise. I thought you were talking about the show Librarians. But then I read it said job. I was like, okay. Uh, um, I just see somebody saying, yeah, that would be insulting. Yes, it would be. It would be insulting. It would be insulting. Um, since my father is not a big wing guy, so I'm going to air fry some drumsticks with buffalo sauce. You know what? Thank you for reminding me. I keep it's on my to get list. Like I want to get an air fryer, I because I cook a lot. If I don't I will cook a lot. Um but I do want an air fryer. Nero and Raven, do you think they'd be good friends? Yeah, to a degree, yeah. Imagine 616 Wanda meeting her ultimate version. Well, the new ultimate Wanda is about to show up soon. But you talking about her previous self? The previous one, oh God, she would feel disgusted because it was implied, and I believe it was true that she and Ultimate Quicksilver and the previous Ultimate had they were a couple. Incest. I don't understand why people like doing that. Like, yo, let's do incest. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I relate with Brian Michael Bendis. I tend to burn myself out by being too ambitious. Sometimes you gotta kind of calm it down. Like, ooh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But yeah, I get it. Every Green Lantern and Flash family. Do you know every Green Lantern and Flash uh family, the friends? Not every. I mean, let's see. Hal and Barry and Wally are friends, but when you think about like who is like one of all Hal's best friends, best friends outside of like his Lantern Corps, that would go more to Green Arrow. They're more closer than than Hal and Barry, and they only did that for the mostly for the New 52. Um, but yeah, that's the thing about that. Yeah. Food should be enjoyable, not an endurance. That's right. War. Yeah, food should like don't get me wrong. Like who watches Hot Ones? Who watches Hot Ones? Anybody like Hot Ones? I'm a fan of that show. That's very cool. And I look at those sauces and especially when they get to Mad Dog 357 and the bomb and all these like the last dab and you know you see some of them these celebrities and they're like they start and then if a sauce is like you're and all of a sudden it creeps up, the heat creeps up on you, like it's like and then it hits you and you start like I remember the episode with Idris Elba and he was and it's just like yeah, that's where I have an issue. Like no, like you're not really tasting the flavor of the meat and now it's just hot for nothing. I think Alden Brown said that this is hot, but it's not good. It was just stuff like that. But I love Hot Ones. But yeah, stuff like that. I like. I will never eat a pizza that's got hot peppers on it, and I'm like, then I'm not gonna enjoy that. I mean, I've had pizza with honey on it once. I was like, I tried. I was like, let me put honey on it, and I'm like, okay, it's not bad. It gave it a little sweetness, which I like honey. Like I know because honey is naturally sweet, so I'm fine with that. Like I tend to try not to like when I have tea because I'm a tea drinker. I like tea. I like hot tea. More. I won't. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't. I can't drink coffee. Coffee to me is disgusting. It to me. This is just personally me. I've drank coffee and I've drank coffee a couple times and just and my body knows get this out, like get it out. I mean I've drink like lattes and once and I've had some but I can't drink coffee. So I drink more tea than anything. Your black teas, uh, your your pomegranate teas and orange spice teas and all this stuff. Chamomile teas. I love that. And not once really do I put sugar in my tea. I stir that honey up in there more than anything. So I tend to do that more. But I love teas. Like I don't know why. I love teas. I do. I don't have a tea time like 12 o'clock tea time. No, I just if I feel like drinking some tea, I'll drink it. It's just like that. You know. When Tim was I was like, okay, cool. I don't care. I'm glad they're more than a grid, but yes, I agree that there's no build to it. Yeah, you gotta it. Yes, it's fictional. Yes, but still, you are putting the effort into making these characters feel like they're real. So it's almost like, okay, where's the build up to this? There was never any really kind of you could easily say what I mean by that is also you can go back and say, well, okay, this issue you can kind of see maybe this is where it started. This is where it kind of we got maybe a hint at it, or this is there you go, there it is right there. There it is. Oh, yep, there it is. Same thing with Bobby. There was no build. You could say, oh, but, Bobby was with girls all the time, like, and you could say, well, a lot of men stay in the closet with their sexuality, but again, it just was no build to it until his younger self, till Bendis came along and said, "Hey, we're gonna make Bobby gay." You see what I mean? Um, let's see what else we got. See, sometimes it's hard to read from the live chat here because the things are so small. Let me see if I could. All right, here we go. This do better. Aha. Now I can see better. All right, here we go. Ghost pepper. Okay. One time. Okay. Uh, food to spice when nosy is nose is watery. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. People just hate just to hate. How pathetic. Yeah. Uh, I see the changes to establish. I see the change to establish characters as shock value to sell issue. Bingo. Bingo. Um, Root beer or birch or both are awesome. I've only had birch beer once or twice, but I am a root beer guy. I am a major root beer guy. I love root beer or cream soda. That's probably when it comes to like brown sodas, like or black soda. I try to stay away from them as much as I can, even though it's always in the house sometimes. But I do love my like. I just like I had root beer not too well, but I also love my Dr Peppers. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Dr Pepper, but I do. I like it. Um, and I've had mostly all the different flavors of it, and nothing really in them changed too much. But I've only had birch beer once. But I yes, root beer is awesome. And who doesn't like making root beer floats? Huh? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Come on. Uh, Travis, that just pans to insult me. Yes, it does. Um, One time I had a crush on my friend, and when I met her for the first time, but she told me she was a lesbian. I was like, I stayed in control. Okay, good for you, my friend. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it happens. Uh, Ted Knight says, "Yeah, if Marvel did that to Peter Parker, I would find that very weird and stupid." Yes, it would be weird and stupid. Uh, I like root beer and birch beer. Yeah, maybe I need to try birch beer again. I've only had it like twice because they don't sell it a lot in the stores around my area. Like it's more root beer. They pretty much A&W to all that stuff, like all the different root beers. I hate homophobics every time. Yeah, it's stupid. Emails power air fryer through is pretty good. It has multiple functions. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Caroline, you say I always loved Kate Kane's design. What's your favorite character design? Favorite character? That's a good. And that's actually a good video to work on, like character design. But um, favorite character design? Like, are we talking like costume or just character in general? Um, Dick Grayson's right up there. Dick has always been the same way he's been since day one. He's probably the most. He's one of the greatest developed characters in comics. Um, I love his Nightwing design now and past. Like his first costume, I didn't like too much. Um, and I always feel like Nightwing should be blue and black and not red and black. Remember when they had him with the red and black? I didn't like that. I was like, no, keep him with the blue. You know, and when they did that stupid when he got shot in the head and they had him go Rick Grayson, I was hating that. That was like I don't know why they did that. Uh, do you remember the movie? The movie what? The movie of That's My Boy with that one. He your brother seemed to remember the movie in parts. I think so. Ultimate Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch was disgusting. Yes, it was disgusting. Like I don't, and that's why I don't like. There's a part of me that doesn't really like the former Ultimate Universe because Joe Quesada, Mark Millar, they just went for shock value with the like everything was shock value, shock value. You know, they felt like they had to tell their stupidity in a lot of it. Like, oh, let's have Hulk being a cannibal. Let's have Blob really live up to. He's a fat boy, but he like eating people. You know, oh, let's have Quicksilver and Wanda Scarlet Witch. They're blood, but they're a couple, huh? Like what the hell? Like the fuck is wrong with you? Stuff like that. Ultimate Captain America was a dick, and you know, Casada's excuse was, oh, there's no way that this guy went through the darkest days of World War II without killing somebody and still come out and being the way his 616 counterpart is. What? So every soldier that comes from war changes and it becomes like a hard ass. Out of here. Man, come on. Stop. Yeah. And it was disgusting. I remember reading, I'm like, as soon as I read that, I'm like, are they literally doing this? Is they really basically saying that they're a couple? I'm like, they're siblings, not lovers. What is this incest shit? Like, what the fuck? I volunteer at the library. Cool. I agree. Ultimate Wanda and Quicksilver. I almost puked when I almost burnt the comic. Yeah. Do you think Sephiroth will be a good villain for Kyle Rayner? No. Do you think hot cocoa? Do you drink hot cocoa? And what is your favorite flavor of hot cocoa? I drink. It's either tea. If I'm cold, I will drink tea or hot cocoa. And pretty much my favorite. I do love chocolate, but I will get down on some hazelnut cocoa. I love hazelnuts. I love white chocolate as well. Chocolate caramel. There's a couple. There's a brand that actually has different flavors of hot cocoa mix, and it's really good. I like it. I also like the ones where they actually have like the chocolate flakes, and you got to drop it in water and stir it till it actually melts into. And those are good too. Expensive, but good. I got a new figure, a Nightwing figure. Hey, nice. Uh, Ted Knight, do you think, Chris, AJ Styles has another championship run in him? Absolutely. Yes, I do. Before he retires, I would love to see WWE give him another championship, and not with a secondary title, with the main title. I think he has a run in there. I love AJ. AJ has always been one of my favorites. Indeed, it's because of AJ Styles I got into TNA. Yeah, him. It all began with that. It all started because of watching that triple threat match between him, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. And watched that match, and I'm like, yo, who's this guy flipping around like Spider Man? That's AJ. Who's this Samoan dude that doesn't look like your stereotypical Samoan wrestler, but moves around like a lightweight. That was Joe. And who's this guy who has the fundamentals of professional wrestling down pat? So smooth. That was Christopher Daniels. Loved it. If Kazuya, if he was in the DC universe, what heroes would he be going after? Uh, if Kazuya was in the, he would mainly be more of a Richard Dragon type character. They'd keep him as a martial art type character. So you're talking Richard Dragon and Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva and all that stuff. Have you tried Coca-Cola Oreo cookie and the drink too? I haven't. I've never tried the drink, and to me, I heard it doesn't taste like anything. If anybody watches Stefan Johnson, he tried it and he said it doesn't taste. It just doesn't even taste like an Oreo. It was funny. And as for the cookies, which I do love Oreos, um, he said it's got it's got popping candy in it. So I'm like, I don't know about that. I love trying, Oreos. Like when Oreos do come out like with new flavors, I do try them. Like I love, first of all, I love red velvet cake, so I'll eat anything got red velvet in it. It's like red velvet, I'll try. Um, I'm not a mint person. Like I don't like mint ice cream. I don't like mint cookies. I don't want to eat anything that tastes like I'm eating toothpaste. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want that. You know, I don't like mint ice cream. I no, I'm nah, nah, nah. Like for example, somebody asked me before once. Somebody asked me once, do you like pistachio ice cream? I said only one company pistachio ice cream I will eat, and that's Haagen Dazs. I will eat their because this is something about their pistachio. Maybe it's the vanilla that I like, but I've every time I try somebody else's pistachio, it just didn't work. I'm like, no, no, it's I don't know what it is. I am straight edge. I don't drink or smoke, so yeah, soda is very my vice. Yeah, you got to calm down on that too. So just calm down on the soda. Uh, um, Pennsylvania Dutch Birch beer is really good. Or Warren, right? Warren, you're in Pennsylvania, right? Right. Try it. It on screen. Okay, worth it. I probably will. I mean, I am going to do another taste test video for the first time. I am going to eat Dubai chocolate. I'll tell you. So we'll put this up and I'll tell you what it tastes like. I hear this. I hear everyone talk about this. Talk about Dubai chocolate, and it is really good. It's this and that. So I'm looking forward to trying it. Uh, so quick question: what would absolute blue beetle look like? Okay, see that this is something that I'm actually going to talk about. Is I am going to talk about the absolute universe in general, the absolute and the new ultimate universe. What I want and what I don't want, and one of them is the oversaturation of those universes, meaning that every character needs a book. But with the absolute universe being so very much like Hope is pretty much dead because of Dark Side, he most likely would be a killer. Be it more likely be a killer because the Scarab, would try to be like, all right, just one thing about the power. Put water in the drip pan. Okay, it does smoke. Okay, how much money to how much money to make a Green Lantern fan film? Well, I have a friend that he makes fan film. His name is Chris Notarelli, and his YouTube channel is called Blinky 500, and he does pretty well with what he's given. Like he'll go through like people will do like uh, help him fund the project, and they become like producers on it and stuff like that. So yeah, and he's done pretty good work with too. I love Dr. Pepper. Yeah. How would you feel if the ultimate cap in the new version served alongside Falcon's grandfather in World War II? That'd be cool. I'd take it. Uh, Come on. Ooh, okay. Next question. Oh, am I messing up? Even Ultimate Cap was disgusted by Wanda, and I was like, wow, even the racist man hates that. Yeah, yeah. Ultimate Cap was a border. Yes, he was, and, yeah, and that was another one I didn't care for. It was stupid. The way he would talk, I never mind. Hello, Chris. Good to see you online. It always cool if I can catch a stream. I don't keep up with your channel regularly, but I still think it's I still think about your old FBE videos from time to time. That's cool. Thanks. I don't do them much anymore because they a lot of the nonsense of those channels are gone. Like all the people that was making that channel bad, they left, and now they've split it up, split the channels. So, but it's still fun to watch their stuff. Um, you guys talking about root beer and made me such me think. Which dipping sauce is your favorite? Mine is barbecue. Well, it depends on what it depends on the dipping sauce. It depends on what restaurant I should say. For example, if I am craving, let's say I want I want Chick-fil-A. Let's go there for a second. It's always going to be the sweet Polynesian sauce. You know what I'm saying? If I as I don't eat a lot of McDonald's anymore, but if I do go into McDonald's, I'm only getting nuggets. I love my nuggets, and the sauce I'm getting is simple. It's sweet and sour sauce. I love that. Um, so like those are kind of the things I love. You know, Thai chili sauce and all that stuff. I love stuff like that. Uh, Warhawk, I would like to see Styles versus Rollins again. Yeah, I would like to see that happen, but the outcome is way different because they've wrestled before, and I would want AJ going over. Uh, I I feel bad for my cat Salem. He's lost three brothers. First, it was Garfield. Second, it was Snickerdoodle, and then Roger. But now he had a play date with my friend, and oh, that's nice. I'm sorry about that. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Losing a pet is hard. My family has lost a couple of dogs not too a while, not too long ago. Still think about them to this day. And it's funny you mentioned that. Y'all remember? Y'all know the world's largest pit bull, Hulk. Y'all know him? He just passed away. Because I follow his owner. I follow them on Instagram, and he had put up a post. It's with a heavy heart to let you guys know Hulk passed away. I'm like, oh, I was so that was a big pit bull. He was huge. He was the world's largest pit bull, and he was also a good boy. He was big, but he was like a gentle giant too. He could turn it on when he needed to. But I like the fact that he's got a legacy. His legacy will live on through his pups, and his pups are just as big as he was. Like his sons are huge. He had a couple of sons. So yeah, I was really sad to hear that. Um, oh, Virginia. Okay, I got an uncle that lives in Virginia. He's a sheriff. I vacation in Woodward, Jersey. Okay. I imagine they have Dr. Pepper Oreo cookie. I think they did. I think they did. My favorite. I will always love double decker Oreos, like the double cream. I will always love those. The thick one, the thick boys. Um, I think they did. But I want to try some of these Oreos that you can only find in Japan. Like those that I want to try. I've seen like pictures of them. Like I'm like, ooh, okay, that sounds actually good. Oh, Japan. Imagine this: Tom the cat did did press charges on Spike for beating him. Yeah, that'd be funny. I would laugh at that, even though Tom don't talk very much. Like they don't talk, they make noises, but Tom. But yeah, could you imagine that? Tom says, "I want that dog arrested." Pressing charges on, he beat me up. And you can hear Spike say, "I was only doing it. I was protecting my boy. That's my boy." Something like that. Yeah, that'd be funny. What would happen if Doctor Fate was real? That's kind of interesting. It depends on who's behind Naboo. That's what it really comes down to. If so, yeah, I love Oreos, though I only think I have them on special occasions. I can't lie. The Oreo milkshakes from Arby's is. I've had those. Yes, those are good. Those are really good. Imagine this Devil May Cry the next game, and they have him go to multiverses, and he sees Dante from the reboot. That I'd be cracking up because he would laugh at it like, "What the fuck are you like?" Remember, they're not even demons in that; they're angels. The YouTube channel No Villains Are Safe talks about if fictional characters got charged for legal crap they did. There's a channel I watch called Legal Eagle. He's a real lawyer, and he's broken down a couple of movies. Like for example, he did one on Home Alone, and he talked about how the McAllisters would get charged and would probably serve some jail time. Kevin probably would serve some jail time. I was cracking up with that. He did one on Jurassic Park. He did one on uh, he reacted to the episode of Batman the animated series called The Trial. Yeah, he's really good. It's called Legal Eagle. He's really cool. That was a good burrito. What would happen if the Green Lantern Corps was real? Wow. Well, first of all, we would know we're not alone out in space. That'd be the first thing. We would know we're not the only sentient species. If the Green Lantern Corps was real, I would flip out because the thing about it is like I would be able to we would we we would probably be a ring could come to one of us and we would get and we train with other beings. Like that would be so cool is to see. I would just flip out. I wouldn't be I was just like, wow, real. I always we there was always think that we were the only intelligent life form. And look at this, a real. I don't care. Like I wouldn't care. Like, oh, you're from a backwater. I was like, yeah, we probably are, but this is amazing to me. Like, did you imagine that? Like, let that sink in for a minute. Do you like the no, I don't like Shamrock Shake because that's mint. Yeah, spikes. I will forget what spike the time. Okay. Hey, Chris. Are there any shows you watched that had amazing pilot episode but fell off very quickly and became bad? There are a few discussions about this on TV subreddits. Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of lot of For me, I'll give you one an example. Remember the show Sleepy Hollow from Fox? That was a really good show. That I really enjoyed that. I liked the concept. I like, they took the tale of Ichabod Crane and they flipped it. They gave it a twist. Like, yeah, he was a soldier in the Revolutionary War. He had turned against the his England, and he was fighting a Hestian. I think, yeah, they called him, and he shot him. They both died, and the headless horseman's blood mixed with his blood, and he woke up in the modern era. So now he's like a man out of time. And the headless horseman was in Sleepy Hollow, which is real. Sleepy Hollow is not too far from where I live. It's like 20 or 30 minutes away from Mount Vernon, where it's in Westchester County. It's west. It's on the west side of Westchester County. Sleepy Hollow is real. It's a real place, and that was great. I love the show. I was loving it, and by the second season, when they brought in Ichabod's, I think it was the second season or so, when they brought in Ichabod's wife, who was a witch, and they had to stop their son or child because they were doing, like, her character just flipped off, and I'm like, wait, what? What the fuck? Like, what the hell is this? And it was just, and it just from there, once that happened, yeah, the show started going down. And even when one of the members of the cast was killed off, it just the quality just started going down, and I hated that. I was like, yeah, I don't like this. That's one example. If y'all know Sleepy Hollow, y'all know. I agree. Jerry is the real villain. Jerry is the real villain. Hey, Chris, I hope I'm not too late. Thundercats. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my Thundercat shirt. Yeah. You kind of are. You kind of are, Perry. I'm about to end it real soon, but stick around. You can stick around for a while. I really hope someday I learn to fight like Thailand fighters. Well, you got to go to a school and teach that teaches Muay Thai. That's all. Fine. That's what you got to find it. Not kickboxing, Muay Thai. There's a difference. Kickboxing and Muay Thai. Kickboxing is not the same. If somebody tells you kickboxing and Thai boxing or kickboxing is the same, it's not. It's completely different. It's not the same. L is really real to 40. Any mangas you are reading lately? Nothing new. Still just reading the same mangas that I always read. So no. By the way, crazy to think we are now closer to 2041 than 1996. Chris, did you hear about the Zenfield massacre? It's horrible. I have. Yeah, we're not talking about that. Don't try not to bring the mood down with that stuff. Why is Winnie the Pooh so controversial in China? He's controversial in China. I don't know. I've never know Winnie the Pooh be controversial. Why is he controversial? Does Tekken have a Thailand fighter in the game? Yes, there's a Muay Thai fighter. He's a big motherfucker. His name is he was that is actually from Thailand. His name is Fakuram. He's a big muscular Muay Thai fighter, and he's got a big scar on his face. Said he fought a tiger, and the tiger scarred his face up. He's tatted up all over the place. They when they introduced him, he beat the crap out of Craig Marduk. He was so big. He was bigger than Craig Marduk. That's how big he was. He's just jacked. He's the stereotypical. He's the total opposite of what a real Thai fighter looks like. Muay Thai fighters are not very tall. So Sagat is not the stereotype of a Muay Thai fighter. Sagat is what 7'4". They don't get no more than 5'9", 5'8". They're not that big. And Faku Ram is just muscular. He's just jacked. But he's not the first kickboxer or Muay Thai fighter in Tekken. That goes Bruce. Bruce also trains in Muay Thai. Okay, but I meant an example of the show where the pilot is top tier, but the second and third episode already became terrible. Mm, yeah, I just can't think of any. But but yeah, like I said, yeah, Sleepy Hollow's right up there. That definitely is one of them. Uh, can't wait for Superman movie and Phantom. Yes, I'm looking forward to both of those. I'm looking forward to both seeing both of those movies. I have high hopes for both of them. Indeed. I'm loving The Last of Us season 2, and I tell my friends, please do not hate the actor who plays Abby. Okay, but yeah, I mean nobody should. And most of the people, if you look, most of the people who are watching the show, they never played the game. There's a lot of people that never played the game. Like I'm seeing more people react to that episode, which was episode 2, when they basically went. The only surprising thing for me is that they did it so quickly. I didn't think that was going to happen until later. But I always figured that's going to be built up. I thought Pedro was going to last through all the way to season the end. I thought that was going to maybe happen in the finale, but it didn't. So they went right to that part. And again, they I remember I watched a video where they compared the two. They did a screenshot of both. They were showing them, for shot, the differences of it. And the main difference is definitely the actress who plays Abby in the show. She's not as jacked. She ain't jacked at all. Abby in the game was humongous. She was jacked. Like you could tell, like she was lifting weights and lifting. She looked like a power lifter. You know, um, so anytime, like even when they fought, like when she and Ellie fought, I'm like, yeah, Ellie's about to get killed. Like she was just outclassed. Um, but yeah, I remember watching and I just was like, all right, let me see it, because to me, I'm really not really watching the show because I'm like, I kind of already know where they're gonna go with it. But then I'm like, you know what, let me watch, because once they did that, I'm like, all right, let me start watching it, because they just went right there with that show. And yeah, it is gonna. You can see now that they're gonna go on this. Um, Ellie is now on revenge. She definitely is on revenge, and we'll see where that takes her. And there were some differences between the game and that scene. What happened, because in the in the game, um, it was Tommy's. Um, why am I forgetting his name? Uh, why am I forgetting the main character's one of the character's name? Uh, Joel. When it happened, Joel and his brother uh Tommy or yeah were together when it happened. In the live action, they had it where Joel's with Dina, and I'm like, okay, they switched that. It was the other way around. And in the show, Joel's brother is a lot better developed in the live action show than in the game. In the game, he was more of a hothead and just really you couldn't rely on him too much, you know. So yeah, it's fun. It's different. Uh, so let me answer these last questions, guys, and we will wrap this up. Uh, nah, not trying to bring the mood down. I just heard it was creepy. Yeah, I know, I know. Thoughts on Coyote versus Acme finally come? Good. It should have came out. It was stupid not to. Some people think the plot of Walking Dead was the only good episode of that show. Uh, I don't agree with that. Um, I think with The Walking Dead, I think it's just the quality of the show just started to keep, and it was only so much you can keep doing with that show. And for me, I stopped reading the books after the prison saga, so I don't know what happened after that. And I think a lot of us were just wondering when is uh when is he going to kind of start flipping out, because in the comic, um he the main character, he started to get a little crazy after a while. But it never happened. I love Jack women. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I like physical women. Like I don't have an inferiority complex. I am not against that. I'm not against taller women. I'm not into that. I don't have a problem with that. There are guys that got problems with that, and if you got a problem with that, that's you. That's on you. You know, I don't want to look inferior to somebody because she's taller than me. Go on with that, man. I don't care. Like she could be taller than me. I'm fine. That's fine. Any plans to get a Switch too? Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'd have thought I'm a little disappointed in Nintendo. I Nintendo they flipping out on that one. Every time that Courage the Cowardly Dog tell talks is funny. I actually met the voice actor of Courage at MegaCon this year. Um, he was really nice. He was fun. So yeah. Hey Chris, what's going on? What are your thoughts on the Predator kills I just filmed? I just filmed a thought video on that. I'm looking forward to that because I've read the first two books. I'm gonna wait till Predator versus Spider-Man comes out on trade. I think that comes out in September. I look forward to reading that one. And then, of course, then by that time, Ben Percy will already started doing Predator kills the Marvel Universe. Now, he talked to us personally. Again, I met him. Me and Mr. Multi, we met him at MegaCon this year in Orlando, and he told us this was coming. He said this is all being built up to something, and he basically told us like it's going to be big. There will be some deaths in this story. It's not going to be like the Marvel heroes triumph without any casualties. There will be some casualties, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe. I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four uh, uh, Gargoyles crossover. I'm looking forward to the new Marvel DC crossovers that are happening later this in the summertime. There's some good stuff coming out. I'm looking forward to it. Uh, I watched the Arrowverse for the first time on Netflix, and I specifically watched Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legion, and then later Black Lightning. How far did you get with those shows? Oh, I watched all of them. Watched all of them to the end. So I watched Flash from day one. I started when that first Arrow from day one, Flash from day one, Black Lightning. You know, Black Lightning is one of my top 10 favorite DC characters of all time. So of course I was going to watch that. Um, the only difference about the show Black Lightning, I wish, was one, it took place in suicide slums and not. And they should have they should have. I wish they didn't call it. I forgot the other city they called it because it's filmed in Atlanta. You could tell that's Atlanta, but it, people tend to forget that Black Lightning is from Metropolis. He's from the ghetto version, the ghetto of Metropolis, which is called Suicide Slums. So yeah, he's not from a different city. Um, and he used to get on Superman a lot. Be like, "You don't come down here. You don't travel down here. I'm the hero that's here. You're not. You're never here. You fly past us." That was some good stuff to see him get on Superman. Like, you talk about you're the protector of Metropolis, but you don't protect this section of Metropolis. You fly past it. So get your last questions, dudes. Uh, the Yautja are gonna have vibranium. I can't wait to see the heroes. And yeah, if you've been reading like I said, there was two, and the last one, this one, this is where it all started. Basically, the the Yautja came to Wakanda and tried to steal vibranium, which they call God metal. The only problem with that story that I did not like is the only problem I have with it is that they basically are implying, Ben Percy implies that the reason why Wakanda is so technically advanced is because they were inspired by the Yautja. I hate that. You may find it cool, but I hate that because that specifically takes away from what makes Wakanda what they are. I hate that. I was like, no, Percy, why'd you do that? I didn't like that. That was stupid. And T'Challa gets hurt in that. He suffers a severe injury in it. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but read it. Um. So, Chris, any thoughts on Gwen Stacy coming back from the dead, becoming the new Gwen? I'm gonna check it out. I'll wait to see what it is. Any mangas you plan to add to your collection? Yeah, there's a lot. Just think about it like that. They call it Freeland. Yeah, Freeland. Yeah, I didn't like that. I should have been called Suicide Slums. I wish they had kept that. Peace, Chris. Good night. Good chat. Thank you, D. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Week. Okay, I ended up watching all the shows from beginning to end, and even though I wasn't sure if I would, which crossover was your favorite? Mine was the Invasion. I love the. I've always loved the crossovers. When they have all the worlds, they all of them, the Arrowverse come together. I love those. I think the Invasion was great. I think that one was really good. Um, when they did, uh, when they did, when they did their version of uh, Infinite Crisis, I thought was interesting. But yeah, I thought all of them were good. Um, Probably one of my favorite scenes is when not Arrow, Barry and Black Lightning Jefferson are talking to each other about, at that time Jefferson had lost his, all his girls, and because his Earth got destroyed by the Anti Monitor, and Flash is talking to him, and he's talking to him about this and that. They're talking about their dads, and it was really good. I love that scene. That's a really good scene. Indeed, it just showed that sometimes a lot of heroes have so much in common, even though they come from different places. Mostly every hero comes from a tragedy, so there are common grounds. So it was really good. Uh, I got the Predator versus Wolverine and Predator comic. Predator versus Wolverine was better in my. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Um, that had more stakes, and it was better storytelling because it would make sense in a sense like Wolverine, Yautja, if think they, this was the same Yautja that was chasing Wolverine. Like he could not kill Wolverine, so he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, and he kept chasing him, and like that was fun. That was really good. I love that. You know, I didn't hate. I didn't hate this one. It just felt like there are some writers that just can't write T'Challa right. I'm not saying that Ben Percy did a bad job, but there are times people always seem to want to write T'Challa like a dick, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, stop writing him like that. Like, oh, he's just a royal dick. I hate that. I'm like, no, he's very intelligent. Don't write him like that. There was just certain thing, and I thought it was very interesting that in that one, Ben Percy had Sam Wilson in there with Shuri, but he was Falcon and not Captain America. I was like, wait, what the? When does this take place? I know they take place in their own. It's not the current universe. It's just like it's its own thing, but it was kind of weird. Uh, yes, no finished movie should get thrown away. No. Do you want guest characters in Street Fighter? They've already done that so far. They've done Terry Bogard, Mai Shiranui, characters like that. But no, I don't. But those are still fighting game characters that you can see in the Street Fighter universe. That's where I'm okay with. Pretty soon, Predator will kill the Marvel universe. I don't think they're gonna kill it. Like there are going to be some deaths. Ben Percy already said there's going to be deaths, but they're not going to win because when you say Marvel Universe, you're talking about characters like Thor. Can you see Yautja killing Thor? Hell, fucking no. I can't even see them killing the Hulk. Ain't no way. So, and they already stated it's in this one. It's going to be the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. So far, and some other Marvel characters. So and they may specifically say the Yautja catches them off guard right there. They're not going to come, but still, I'm looking forward because it makes me wonder: will they play up that Wolverine knows who they are? Black Panther know who they are. Spider Man, will he know where? Because in the Spider Man versus uh, Predator run, he's going to be fighting a Predator that has no code of honor. He's just a killer. And more importantly, we're gonna get a Predator versus Craven fight. And I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be fun. And yeah, the scene is wonderful. Seeing Barry and Jefferson establish their emotion. Yeah, that was really good. Grant and Cress acting elevated that scene considering how much was going on in that crossover. Yes, indeed. Chris Williams is a very good actor. I don't think he gets enough credit for his acting abilities. But I knew he was a great actor since he was on Living Singles. He was Scooter. And yeah, see, that's how far back I go with him. I don't like how Percy gave us a Predator King when in canon they don't have a king, but a council. Well, I mean, again, he's also Predator. I mean, Ben is also establishing his own lore of the Yautja and not what's already been told. That was one of the first things he told me in Multi when we talked to him. He's like, I'm not following there. If you look at the crossovers, there are inspirations from every movie in a sense. Predator versus Wolverine, you could tell is inspiration of the first one. Predator versus uh Black Panther is a mixture of of one and the Predators. Spider-Man will be a mixture of Predator 2 because it's a scorching hot day in New York. Um, so he's also establishing his own. Like in the second one, it was more about the Yautja that comes after God Metal or Vibranium. He's smaller than his brother, and he's trying to prove himself. Not only is he smaller, but he also has a metal leg. He was born without a left leg, so he has a metal leg. So it was really interesting. I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Like, you don't see that. We don't get to see that in any kind of lore, especially in the movies. We don't get to see it. That's why the new one that's coming out is going to be really interesting to watch that. I'm like, okay, this is different. I like this, where it's actually being told from the predator's perspective, not the human's perspective. um but I see a lot of people brought that same point up, and I understand people's points on it, but it was just like, well, try to look at it from a point of view like this is his establishment of it. uh well, what's the next one? Okay. What did you think of the decision of Arrow 100th episode occurring during the invasion? I'm okay with that. I hope Punisher is in it. I doubt it. We'll see. I feel a decision like that is unwelcoming to viewers who weren't watching Arrow at the same time. Yeah. Will there ever be a crossover with aliens? That's a good question. Yeah, there is. They're doing Avengers versus aliens already. I'm looking forward to reading that too. So yeah, they're doing that now, and we saw some deaths in that. I mean, I think a couple of characters dead from chest bursters and stuff. I'm like, oh. I think one of them was Spider Man. I'm like, oh, I'm like, God damn it. So yeah, they are doing that. I think who's writing that? I think it's Jonathan Hickman is writing the Avengers versus Aliens crossover. Aliens versus Avengers. Yeah, Jonathan Hickman. He's writing it. When does the trade come out? Because I'm definitely going to read it. August 19th. Good. I'm going to get it, even though I know I'm going to see some fucking face huggers. Uh, well, guys, that seems to be all the questions. I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with me, guys, today. Like I said before, guys, it's this is the end of the month of April. I will see you guys next month again for another open mic uh, for the month of what is it, May. uh, there's a couple of movies that are coming out that I still got. Guys, look out for my Sinners review. I will be putting that up tomorrow or Thursday. I'll be finally putting that up, even though I've seen the movie already. I've just been gathering some information that I wanted to talk about as well. Outside of that, guys, yeah. Look forward to. I'm going to be putting up some reviews, some comic reviews, some more comic reviews. For example, I'm putting up the reviews for the. I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna put up, but I'm gonna be putting up the reviews of the Godzilla versus Fantastic Four, Godzilla versus Hulk, and tomorrow Godzilla Spider-Man come out tomorrow. I'll be putting those three. I'm gonna just put those in one big review. So look out for that. There's still some great crossovers coming for that. I'm looking forward to the Godzilla X-Men, the Godzilla Thor, Godzilla Avengers. There's an interesting thing in Godzilla Hulk. Godzilla Hulk made Godzilla swallow his gamma blood and juiced Godzilla up, so he had gamma radiation in him too. That was kind of cool. I'll spoil that for you. But it was fun. It was fun indeed. But outside of that, guys, you guys take care. I will see you guys next time. Have a happy and safe rest of your week, as always. But this is M.V.Kid. Peace, one love. Stay tuned. Keep it real, guys, as always. Y'all take care. I'll see you guys next time. Down the road. Deuces.